Okay, time is 6 p.m. I'm going to call this November regular board meeting to order. Y'all please stand and join me for a moment of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day you've given us. We ask for wisdom and guidance for this board and leadership team as we go forward. We ask that you look after all of our students and staff, and our community, keep us safe, and have us go in the direction you'd see fit. All this. I also, Lord, would like to ask that you look after several of our families in our community, including a couple of school family, Miss Martha Seegers and Miss Angie Allen. I know both lost their mothers this week. Give those families strength during this difficult time. All these things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. I think everybody's had time to review the agenda for this month. Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Ms. Finley. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5 and none opposed. Thank you. Okay, student recognition. Mr. Chris Wallace, BHS Principal.
Thank you, Chairman Green, board member, superintendent. Appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity this morning or this afternoon to recognize a very special student in our school. Going to bring up Miss Shali King here in just a second, but let me tell you a little bit about why we're recognizing her tonight. She recently competed in Miss Georgia Teen Pageant here in Georgia, and she took first place and will be representing this pageant for the state of Georgia in Hollywood, California during the week of Thanksgiving. So this is a pretty spectacular accomplishment for her, and we're pretty excited that she's going to get to compete there and get to represent our whole state, much less our county and community. So I'll tell you a little bit about Miss Shali. She is an outstanding student all the way around. I had the privilege of writing a reference for her, and those are always easy to write when you have students been involved in so many things and has accomplished so much. She's in a Beta Club. She was voted best all-around player, volleyball team, honor roll all 4 years. She's completed a pathway here in our CTA program with sports medicine. She also has competed in on our basketball and volleyball teams multiple years. Partners Club has helped with state and local Special Olympics, and then also participates with community events like the Canned Food Drive, Toys for Tots, and Thanksgiving meals for people in need. And so what we wanted to do was just bring to your attention about a student who doesn't, it's not necessarily a competitive event for our high school or for our district, but this has taken to the state level where she's been successful, and then now she's going to be recognized at the national level to compete for this national recognition. So wish her the best of luck as she goes forward and competes in Hollywood coming up here in just a couple of weeks. But we want to bring her before you guys tonight and just let her know that we appreciate how she represents us in this community and in our school, and just put her in front of the community and just show off what our kids are doing, even outside of the classroom, which she does a great job in, outside of sports, which we have a lot of students that do great jobs in those areas, and CTAE and a lot of the other areas where we have students who are successful. But this is something a little different that we don't necessarily have in the school, but she has to do job interview skills. She has to show off her talents. So it goes way beyond that, but she is super humble, hardworking, very ambitious. She has the goal of, let me see, I believe she's going to go to Kennesaw, is that right? Yeah, Kennesaw State, and she's just an exceptional young lady. So she has her career is already mapped out for her for what she wants to do, and we just want to recognize a special student of ours. So Shali, if you'll come up and shake the hands of our board members here so they can meet you firsthand and wish her best of luck. Stand out here and get a picture. very much. Good luck.
Congratulations, Shayla. Very proud of you. I know your mom and dad have a lot to be proud of. We heard of all your great accomplishments tonight, and I know we had Jake here just a couple of months ago to recognize him and his accomplishments. So y'all have two great kids. Thank y'all. I believe Miss Destiny Shope's going to come up for recognition of our 2020 Pickens County School System Teachers of the Year.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Wilson, Teachers of the Year representatives and their families, and other guests. It is my honor this evening to present to you Pickens County's Teachers of the Year for 2019-2020 school year. Our district level Teacher of the Year winner was announced at the annual banquet in October. Our winner will now compete for the title of Georgia Teacher of the Year. This year's winner is invited to attend the Georgia Teacher of the Year banquet in Jekyll Island in May, and I'm not sure if that's been announced to her yet, but it's coming. Representing Harmony Elementary School is Miss Callie Duncan. So Miss Duncan, if you'll come up. Ms. Duncan teaches special education and serves as the lead special ed teacher for her school. Callie believes education is about creating a safe environment for her students, fostering imagination and creativity, going the extra mile, and teaching through experience. Ms. Duncan wrote in her application that she believes all children are capable of learning, but how they learn is her responsibility. When away from the school, Callie enjoys crafting, singing, and someday hopes to travel to all 50 states. One of her greatest pastimes is joining with her family to spread love and joy to others by preparing boxes of needed items for Operation Christmas Child. Congratulations to Harmony Elementary Teacher of the Year, who was also named Pickens County Teacher of the Year, Callie Duncan. Next, I would like to introduce to you our second Teacher of the Year, Miss Amanda Jones. Mrs. Jones is a first grade teacher at Hill City Elementary, where she teaches math, science, and social studies. She resides in Jasper with her husband Jim and their two daughters. Mrs. Jones shared that her spark for teaching was ignited by her fifth grade teacher, Mrs. Tracy Buckingham. Amanda believes that promoting an engaging, challenging, student-centered environment through relationship building is key to student success. Children are our future, and she has made it her personal goal to be the difference in their lives because she believes that outside her classroom, adventure awaits them. Congratulations to Hill City Teacher of the Year, Miss Amanda Jones. Next up is Mr. Matthew Gibson, who is representing Tate Elementary School. Mr. Gibson currently teaches second grade and is a 25-year veteran elementary teacher. Not only has he served as a teacher, but also as an administrator for 3 of those years. After his children were born, he returned to the classroom. Matthew believes finding success as a teacher requires one to be a team player, whether it's in the classroom with their students, working with parents, or working with their peers. Mr. Gibson lives in Jasper with his wife, Rhonda, and 2 children, Emily and Andrew. He enjoys hunting, fishing, and attending concerts in his free time. Congratulations to Tate Elementary Teacher of the Year, Mr. Matthew Gibson. Mr. Andrew Craighill is Jasper Middle School's Teacher of the Year. He currently teaches science and social studies and serves as the social studies team co-chair. His ultimate goal for children leaving his classroom is to have a sense of purpose and to recognize their importance to the world in which we live. He and his wife Brady recently welcomed their first child, Finley, into the world, and he is growing quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
Andrew was the child that dressed up as a professor during kindergarten and said he would choose a career in teaching all over again if given the chance. Congratulations to Jasper Middle School's Teacher of the Year, Mr. Andrew Craighill.
Thank you.
Pickens Junior High selected Mrs. Claire Eubanks as their Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Eubanks has been in education for 17 years at PJ, where she currently teaches math and works with all levels of students as the Adolescents Rope Connection teacher. The ropes course provides her an opportunity to build courage and character in her students. Mrs. Eubanks believes that her success as a teacher is measured through the successes of her students. Claire is passionate about the ropes course because she knows the difference it makes in the lives of her students. She is married to Dave and they have 2 children, Elise and Price. When away from school, you can find her busy on her horse farm and enjoying the outdoors. Join me in congratulating Mrs. Claire Eubanks, Pickens Junior High. The Pickens High School Teacher of the Year is Mr. Kyle Rasco. Mr. Rasco teaches the anatomy and sports medicine classes as part of the healthcare pathway. It is here that he is able to share his enthusiasm for sports medicine with students. He also serves as the Assistant Athletic Director responsible for Pickens High Athletics. Mr. Rasco has held a variety of positions throughout his career in education. Kyle was instrumental in creating the PHS Athletics Hall of Fame to recognize and honor athletes, coaches, and contributors who have positively influenced our school and left a lasting legacy for others to emulate. Kyle and his wife Cassie have 3 sons. When he is not on the sidelines, he is working to coordinate the summer mission trips for Jasper First Baptist Church, where he also teaches Sunday school. Congratulations to Pickens High Teacher of the Year, Mr. Kyle Rasco.
Thank you, Ms. Shope. Congratulations to all our Teachers of the Year. Very proud of y'all, and thank y'all for truly being the gold standard for all of our teachers. So very proud of y'all. Thank you. Okay. Superintendent Reports, Dr. Wilson? Yes, if y'all feel free to leave if you'd like to, or stay, whichever you choose. Thank you. Superintendent Reports, Dr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First is our financial update. Ms. Smith?
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. We'll review our general fund. As of November 8th, we had collected 12.22% of our budgeted revenue. What you may have noticed, if you're a Pickens County property owner, you should have gotten a property tax bill by now. They're due the first week in December. There's more than one due date I have noticed when I've talked to several people. So we're glad that they were able to get those out when they're due the first week of December. It should not impede anything with our revenue and ability to pay our payroll for November and December. Expenditures were at 22.74% of our approved budget. You also should have received by email the final audit report from the Georgia Department of Audits. If you did not, please let me know and I'll have them transmitted again. So, do y'all have any questions on the general fund? And we'll move on to SPLOST. SPLOST revenue for October 2019 was $455,604.98. Our interest earned was $1,619.88. Expenditures totaled $1,830,302.36, and that brought our month-end SPLOST balance to $3,291,891.20. Our collections, our 12-month average did rise slightly. Our 12-month average is $449,296.15. We'd like to see that keep going up. Hopefully with holiday season coming up, that will help keep that at a a nice rate. When we are planning, we typically do not use that average, we use a little lower number, so we stay on target with our budget. Quite a few SPLOST items still coming through. Do y'all have any questions about SPLOST right now? And as always, I like to report that we have no debt.
Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Smith. Next is our operations update. Mr. Young.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. Start with maintenance. I don't have to tell any of you guys that it got cold last week. Even Stacy was telling me that he doesn't ever remember the temperature dropping that fast, that quickly. And it did put some stress on our heating units in some places. But we are working hard to make sure the buildings are warm. Having to replace a few units here and there. I've talked to some of the board members about some of those over the course of the last week or so. Maintenance is doing an excellent job of taking care of those things as they arise. They're also at the same time they're working on heating units as we transition into wet weather after we have a hot, dry summer. We have some roof leaks. Those are being addressed as well, so maintenance is taking care of those and getting all the heaters where they need to be. So they've got a lot of things going on right now, but they're doing a good job staying on top of things. Transportation. Transportation has finished the skills assessment for all drivers and monitors. They've also completed the Stop Believe training for all the employees by the end of October. They just completed another training class. Hopefully out of that, you never know, but hopefully out of that we're going to gain 3 new drivers. We still need about 8 drivers to make sure that we're good each day with those that are unable to come to work. But anytime that we can get drivers in and get them through the training, that's always a positive. Hopefully we can keep them at that point. Food services, here again, and it's amazing what they accomplished, but here again, I want to congratulate all 6 of our school kitchens for earning a perfect 100 on their health inspections this fall. National School Lunch Program requires that we have 2 health inspections per year, and every single one of our cafeterias nailed it with a 100 score. We now have our free and reduced price eligibility for lunch for the 2021 school year, and it's going to be 51.19% is free and reduced for the county. Remember the dates, and these are big, and they do an awesome job with it. November 20th or 21st, depending on the school. The cafeteria is going to be serving a traditional Thanksgiving meal with roasted turkey and all the trimmings. Anybody that's interested in joining us for a Thanksgiving meal on one of those days is more than welcome. And Food Services wanted me to extend to each of you a happy Thanksgiving from all of the kitchen staff. So they do a tremendous job. That is awesome. And it is, I've said it before, it is amazing what they're able to accomplish on a daily basis. And that concludes the operations update. Dr. Wilson.
All right, moving into attendance.
All right, we'll start with the staff. Pleased to report that staff attendance winner for the month is Pickens High School at 96.22%. Mr. Wallace, congratulations.
Awesome.
That is tremendous. All of our schools do a great job of staff attendance, but 96.22% was the winner for the month. Looking at the student attendance for the month of October. Last month, of course, was Jasper Middle School. This month, Tate Elementary. Where's Miss Stephanie? Miss Stephanie, if you would come on down at 96.16%. She left.
Her child is participating.
I will get her certificate for Tate, but that's 96.16%. All of our schools did a tremendous job this month. 93.72 was our lowest, and up to 96.16, so they did a great job. We look at the dropout report. I'm pleased to report, well, in a way I'm pleased, in a way I'm not pleased, because we do have 1 dropout reported for the month. Anytime you have any dropouts, it's too many, but I'm also pleased to report that it is 1, which brings our total for the year to 7. Our attendance team does a tremendous job of staying on top of attendance, communicating clearly with parents, our expectations for being in school, and it shows in our numbers. So that concludes my report, Dr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Young. That completes the superintendent reports, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We'll go down to action items. And number of action items tonight. The first action item, approval of the personnel action report as presented. Do I hear a motion to approve the PAR?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Enos. Do I hear a second? Second by Mr. Smith. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5 and none opposed. Thank you. Second action item, policy of possession of weapons by employees. Request item to be withdrawn from consideration. Dr. Wilson, you want to comment on that?
I would like to request that we remove this for consideration at this time. There's been some questions about some procedures. We're working with the sheriff and coming up with all the procedures, and want to let the public know about those procedures and answer any questions they have this spring, and then bring that back to the board for a potential policy later in the spring.
Any questions, comments? Do I hear a motion to approve that request to withdraw the policy for consideration at this time?
Make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Smith. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Enos. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5 and none opposed. Thank you. It's time to approve a natural gas contract for 1 year. Dr. Wilson or Stacy, you want to comment on that rate we got offered?
I'm pleased to say that this past year, our term rate was .328, and we're able to lock in under a new contract a perm rate of 2.47. So it's come down nicely, recommending that it is approved. The winning bid is EMC Natural Gas, doing business as True Natural Gas.
Dr. Wilson, that's .234
.234.
for 12 months, 18.
Oh, there, I'm sorry, yes, .234.
How many bids did we get?
We had total
Had 4 people bid.
4 different bids.
27 days. It was advertised for 30 days. And I also contacted everyone that always bids before.
Questions, comments? Hear a motion to approve the natural gas contract for 1 year with True Natural Gas.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Smith. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Enos. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5 and none opposed. Thank you. Action item 4, approval of change order number 1 at Pickens Junior High School for Phase 1.
Mr. Chairman, I'm pleased. Normally, I don't like change orders, but by approving this change order, we'll get $2,032 back. Of course, it would have been quite a bit more had we not found a nice big hole with trash in it. That cost us about $196,000. So I'm still pleased that we are getting money back from that project. So I would recommend and ask approval of this change order.
Motion to approve change order number 1 Pickens Junior High Phase 1 for $2,032 credit. Motion by Ms. Enos. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Finley. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5 none opposed. Approval of change, action item 5, approval of change order number 1 at Pickens High School, the DOVA edition.
Mr. Chairman, this is another change order that I'm very pleased to ask for approval. This one is, we will be receiving back to us $44,308 to come under the guaranteed maximum.
Do I hear a motion to approve change order number 1 at PHS for the DOVA edition, total $44,308 credit.
I make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Youngblood. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Finley. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5 and none opposed. Thank you. Okay, approval of the Pickens County School System calendar for the 2020-2021 school year. So
This one, 176 days, just like this year as far as the number of days. We start August 3rd as the first day of school. We do have a parent conference and teacher release day on the Friday before Labor Day. We also have one in March for conferencing. It still has the fall break, Thanksgiving break, Christmas, winter break, spring break, and then graduation and last day of school will be May 21st on that Friday.
we have 5 days pre-planning for teachers, 5 days post-planning for teachers, and in-service for teachers on election day and on the Monday we come back from Christmas break.
Right, and teachers will still be required to document 2 additional days of time throughout the year to make up for their 190 days.
I hear a motion to approve the,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
You know, we're really going to talk about that. I mean, when we talk about it, we're going to have that insurance day. And I know that days, we're not going to back that up unless we have an insurance day.
It's the teacher release day. What it does is it would drop to even the semesters.
And we're not back one, back it up one. I'm just saying, it's stressful. Because I mean, that's the whole reason is vacation. You know, we're talking about doing in-service before, or September.
They're going to get out early at noon.
I know, but I mean, can we not just make it an in-service day? Do back up, take, drop one of the,
The problem was the amount of days in the fall.
We can, absolutely, and we can actually have, make it one less day that semester.
or, I mean, if I was in here, I was not, we're gonna talk about that. I'd rather start on the 31st and give them that insurance day that day, if we need to. Well, I mean, I just thought we were gonna have, I know we
Well-
have education forms on that day, because of the GPS.
Stacy, did you experience much?
It is really crowded that day. It does delay us on transportation. And we had talked about this, and I didn't know if we'd get an early release or we'd get a full day. I didn't even know what was going on with this until just now, really. That's a plus. A half a day is a plus, and a whole day is a real plus on that, because that is a day this town is packed. Our buses were probably an hour and 15 minutes later getting home on that day this year.
Is it just the afternoon routes you experienced problems? Do you think the early release would alleviate that?
We try. I don't think it'd be a problem. We can work through it. I mean, that's a great benefit, just having that evening one, I'm telling you. The morning one would be even a better benefit, but I don't know if it'd make that much difference.
What time would be
We don't
the
usually
early?
have trouble getting in as bad as we do getting out.
What time would be the early release, noon? I guess it would stagger.
Closer, it'd be 2 hours, 2-hour release. That would allow us to make sure food service is able to feed all the students. So you'd be looking at
12:45.
You'd be looking at, 12:45 and 1:30. They closed the street down at 4. That was my problem last year. They closed the street at 4, or this year.
that would start on Friday the 31st.
I'm in favor of going what we have presented here tonight. But we'll go with what y'all want to do.
All right. Well, I want
This
to
is
ask you, I mean, the
so
whole
much
reason we talked about that was for the transportation, giving the
This is
insurance.
so
tax.
much better than it was that I'm happy either way. You know
So,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
with the early relations gonna
Yeah,
work.
it's so much better than it was that I couldn't argue with it anymore.
I just don't really like staggering the day back. We gotta keep the days even for first semester and second semester, and I don't really like starting on Friday, July 31st.
We don't either.
So, I mean, I understand the issues we have.
You know,
I
just,
appreciate the effort, really, but, you know, if I get half a day, I'll be tickled with half a day.
and that'll help.
Yeah, it'll help.
Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and try the half day and then see how it works this year. Maybe
Yeah, that's
maybe
at
back it
least
off
a
next
start,
year.
you know.
Okay.
We good with that? Good. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the motion by Mr. Smith. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Finley. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5, none opposed. Thank you. All right, action item 7. Approval of minutes. I think everybody's had time to review the minutes. This is for the called meeting, a regular meeting on October 10th, and the emergency meeting on October 15th. I hear a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Youngblood. Do I hear a second? By Ms. Enos. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5, none opposed. Thank you. Okay, action item 8, approval of surplus, got a slew of surplus. Hill Cities is the, I think everybody's had a chance to look at this, but Hill Cities was all media books and VHS tapes. Harmony was, I think, the same, and Jasper Middle was some broken equipment and things like that. Old curriculum, that's right, outdated old curriculum. Any questions on surplus? Do I hear a motion to approve surplus as presented?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Ennis, do I hear a second? Second. Second by Mr. Smith. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5, none opposed, thank you. Section 8, board comments. Any comments from board members? Okay, is Carrie Lott here?
I'm here.
Did you want to, you had signed up for public participation, but I know things have changed now, so do you?
Exactly. Since it's the weapons possession has been removed until the spring, I'll see what happens in the spring and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you. So that was public participation, so we have none now tonight. All that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Smith, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Enos, any further discussion? All in favor? 5 and none opposed, we are adjourned at 6:34 p.m. Thank you all for being here. Safe travels, happy Thanksgiving.